It's wheel to wheel. Hamilton and Verstappen, and this time Verstappen and Hamilton have crashed out, and they are both out. The World Championship record is equalled. Lewis Hamilton, the 7-time champion of the world.
We weren't very fast this morning. Yeah, it wasn't a good start because we had a gearbox issue that came out of nowhere and that we haven't yet been ready to identify and understand. So I hope it's going, if we are able to have a smoother ride from here onwards, then I think we can recover. I think if I were to start with the benefits of the floor for aero purposes, you would probably get the wrong information. I think it looks good. Optimizing the flow around the lack of aerodynamic performance that we have with the new regulations, and let's see whether it can be translated into a real performance.
They absolutely have changed the rear suspension geometry. Have they changed the gearbox? This is important to get rear stability, and he doesn't have it.
Yeah, I think not everything needs to be put out in the public. This is also a war on information, a competition of information. And I'm sure you haven't seen all the cars in the specifications that they are going to be raced. We knew that efficiency is part of the performance, but you just pushed flat out and trying parts, producing them and putting them on the car on Friday. And this year you just have to have a good overview and tools on where to spend and how to spend.
Yeah, my first day has been all right. I mean, I did a lot of laps, so that was very good. The feeling in the car was nice.
Not to be underestimated, the regulation change that we've had over the winter is actually quite a significant one.
The Mercedes are that team that was struggling early with the gearbox issue. Lewis Hamilton particularly struggling.
We know how to pull together and keep our head down and focus on the job, but there's, without doubt, it's quite impressive to see the speed of some of the other teams. I think Red Bull looking particularly strong.
Very difficult time for Lewis Hamilton, for Mercedes-AMG Petronas, both of them going for an 8th world title in 2021. But it isn't Mercedes and it isn't Lewis Hamilton who top the times at the end of the week.
It's going to be a long year, but we have no illusions that Mercedes are very much the firm favourites going into this year.
suffered more with the change of regulations than the cars with a higher rake, and the Red Bull has followed that concept since many years.
So it's the same car that they had in testing. I think what they're saying is effectively that they need to understand it better.
Mercedes have dominated the World Championship for the last 7 years.
Looks beautiful into that 910, doesn't it? He could commit so late the brakes, and it looks very stable.
I think what was the most important thing to feel was that the car was quite predictable.
I don't think it wasn't minor balance changes. It was rethinking the sweet spot of the car also in combination with the tires.
It's undrivable, says Valtteri Bottas.
Snappiness on the rear is much better.
Don't get sucked into any propaganda about Mercedes not being the firm favourite.
There's been a huge amount of analysis. The engineers, the guys back at the factory, there's a huge amount of data from everyone. Naturally, every team has to do it to try and understand, churn the numbers, crunch time, and make improvements in that short period we've had.
Hamilton next across the line, and from a 1:31.2 it's going to be a 1:30.6 that sets the pace.
I have to check my floor. I went a bit wide out of turn 2 through turn 3.
The line, next man across the line is a Max Verstappen, and he goes 2.5 tenths clear of the Mercedes. Here comes Lewis Hamilton. So the time Leclerc goes quickest overall in the Ferrari on the soft compound tyre, but Leclerc with a 1:30.010 is now usurped by his teammate by 1 millisecond. Carlos Sainz goes fast.
To know exactly where we are, it's difficult.
Don't discount Valtteri Bottas out. He quite often saves his best for last as well, but his teammate Lewis Hamilton is a 10th up and setting a purple time through that first sector. He's 2 tenths up on Pierre Gasly. Is Lewis Hamilton. We'll wait for Max Verstappen, who's done a 28.3, matches Hamilton. Max Verstappen's gone quickest overall in the middle sector. Hamilton now crosses the line. He's back on provisional pole with Verstappen trying to stop him. Max Verstappen's never had back-to-back poles in his life. He has now in Formula 1, and by nearly 4 tenths of a second, Max Verstappen has sent the Red Bull garage into raptures. He's on pole for the Bahrain Grand Prix. He's on pole for the opening race of the season, and it's the first time Red Bull have done it since 2013.
Max, you've started as you finished in Abu Dhabi last year with pole position, but this is the first time in your Formula 1 career you have been top of the times in every single session. It's real. This championship battle could be on.
We have a good car. Now we just have to hope that, of course, we have a good clean start and first lap.
Verstappen, Hamilton on the front row, 352 metres down to the first braking point into a very strong headwind. It is absolutely clear though that Max Verstappen, the lone Red Bull Ranger up front against 2 Mercedes-Benz.
Last year it was 1 against 2, Verstappen against the Silver Arrows. This time it seems to be 2 against 1, and Mercedes have got that strategic advantage there where they can double team up against Max Verstappen and bully him a bit. is Sergio Perez stopping by the side of the track. This is not what Sergio Perez or Red Bull would have wanted. They come into this race as the favourites for it, but already they're fighting with one hand very much tied behind their back. Finally we get the green flag. Finally we can get the season off and running. 5 lights on. And it's lights out and away we go. And it's Max Verstappen against Lewis Hamilton. They both got away quite evenly. Hamilton tucks in behind the Red Bull and Leclerc already alongside Valtteri Bottas. Hamilton goes into turn 1 behind Max Verstappen. Bottas is being challenged all the while by Charles Leclerc. Pierre Gasly's kept his place as well, ahead of the McLaren of Daniel Ricciardo, who's got Lando Norris, his teammate, for company as they head now down towards turn 4, and that's off. And that looks like a Haas, and it could have been Nikita Mazepin in the Haas.
Are you okay? Are you okay?
Hey everybody, as you know, I have lost my contract to compete.
But Verstappen knows at some point he's going to have to drop just get his foot on the throttle through that last corner and try to disappear. Lewis will be all over him.
He's keeping the pack all backed up. He doesn't want to give Hamilton the slipstream, but he's got to go eventually. And Hamilton now will try and tuck in behind him, and Verstappen immediately darts over to the right-hand side of the track. Now, what is going to happen down into turn 1? It's 3 abreast almost. Verstappen, Hamilton, cars going wide. Could have been Sebastian Vettel right at the rear of the field, and there's a car spinning off as well. I wonder if he's tangled. But here, with a bit of DRS, comes Valtteri Bottas, and he absolutely blasts past car number 16, Charles Leclerc, goes a little bit deep, and they're going to go wheel to wheel. Can Leclerc go round the outside? Bottas on the inside, locks up, and Leclerc might do the old swapperoo here. No, the gap just closed on him.
So Verstappen ahead has got a problem with the diff, everything to play with. Come on, Valtteri.
Okay, Lisa, won't be long. Just close up.
Not long. Close that gap. Push. Give it some hammer time.
And he's only 1.7 seconds behind Verstappen.
And he's coming in.
He's coming in, definitely. So Verstappen will need a great lap and then hit at the end of the lap.
Hard tyres going on to Lewis Hamilton's Mercedes. They've not got any new sets of mediums.
No, they haven't.
To get the Mercedes onto the hard at this point, that's a big gamble.
Mercedes pulled the trigger for the undercut. Red Bull have said, right, you do that, that's absolutely fine, we're going to go longer.
They've chosen not to react to Lewis Hamilton.
Verstappen continues to lead then. Bottas ahead of Hamilton's in third, who's got past Carlos Sainz and needed to as well.
And pick a firm, Max. Pops and pick the firm.
Right, so here come the Red Bull crew, and
feels a bit no man's land. Ted's down there though.
Yeah, we're going to have a fight, aren't we? We're going to have some overtaking. If Max Verstappen still wants to win the Bahrain Grand Prix, steady into the box, slow on the right. That's not perfect for Red Bull Racing. It was just slow coming off, not the end of the world.
Verstappen now slots into second place. Valtteri Bottas is on the fresher tyres, wanted to go to the left of Perez, who slammed the door rather shut, and he's now going to go round the outside at turn 11, and Bottas is back up into third place. There's your race leader, Lewis Hamilton. The gap now down to under 4 seconds. Lewis is coming into the pits.
So So Lewis Hamilton pitting there with the hard tyre, another set of hards. What does that say for their strategy?
Let's hear Bottas.
So Lewis is in the pits. Verstappen could have undercut him. So we're going long.
Increase that target lap time into low 34s.
If I do that, I'm not going to make it to the end.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, with 16 laps to go, it is game on. Less than 2 seconds between Lewis Hamilton and Max Verstappen. It's a battle that a lot of us really want to see. I've got no rear, no grip, says Lewis Hamilton. He's looking in his wing mirrors to see what's happening at the rear. It's Max Verstappen coming his way. Hamilton moves to the middle of the track, forces Verstappen wider at turn 1 and positions that Mercedes beautifully. But is that only temporary from Lewis Hamilton? Can he now hold Max Verstappen up as they head towards turn 4? Hamilton's going to force Verstappen the long way round. By the time they get to the corner, he's about a third of a car in front. By the time they get out of the corner, he's a whole car in front. Max Verstappen is ahead of Lewis Hamilton.
Hang on, what's going on? No, he's giving it back to him. He's giving it, he didn't. He's giving it back because he took the position off the racetrack.
Verstappen, he's getting extra pace, but it's not enough to make an overtake here. He's won the championship in 6 of the last 7 years. He starts this year going for a record-breaking 8th World Championship. He has been put under immense pressure by Max Verstappen and Red Bull here tonight. Sir Lewis Hamilton, as he is now, crosses the line and wins the Bahrain Grand Prix.
Okay, for the moment, let Lewis through.